All right. So for this next batch of articles, I've got some news in regards to NBA 2K. All my 2K goons come to the front. Right now, 2K26 is currently in the worst state that it's ever been in. People are dealing with lag switching, people speeding up and slowing down games, auto greens, auto defense scripts, Zins everywhere. It's people are just running rampant. They're cheating on that game. And instead of not playing it and getting off the game, they'd rather be on Twitter bitching and complaining, wondering why the dev team and the CEOs of Take-Two Interactive are not improving the game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have the answer for you. Since you don't want to believe me, which I said the problem is always capitalism, I'm going to let you hear from the horse's mouth. Take-Two Interactive, the owners of NBA 2K, CEO, speaks on the success of NBA 2K to the mainstream media. He's speaking to Kramer, which is a investment show.
NBA 2K, some things just don't run out, do they?
If you keep doing great stuff. The work has to get better and better. Visual Concepts, which is the label that makes NBA 2K inside the 2K label, just sets the bar higher and higher every year. And we're up 30% year over year. We've sold in 8 million units, and it is, of course, the biggest selling sports game in North America.
Okay, now NBA 2K.
All right, did you guys hear what he said, the CEO of NBA 2K? If you weren't following, if you didn't catch on what I'm trying to argue here on this stream, I constantly argue the biggest issue is capitalism, people's non-ability to say no to corporate greed. These suits are not gamers. They are extractors of resources, you getting as much money out of you as possible. So in their brain, because they're not gamers, they're not the ones developing, the only thing they see is the stat sheet, the books. And every year, the books say NBA 2K has grown year over year. Do you know what that says to somebody who went to business school and doesn't play games, or at most is a casual gamer? It says to them, the game is good because we are generating sales. This man stood on national television and said that we are putting out a great product. And you know what's funny? I genuinely don't think he thinks he's lying. I think he thinks he's telling the truth. Because you have to understand the way the businessman thinks. We made 30% more money than last year, and 70% of that came from microtransactions. 8 million units sold, and after that, millions upon millions of microtransactions. They think they're putting out a good game. Do you know how you get them to not think that? You stop buying the fucking game. And if you bought the game and you weren't satisfied, at bare minimum, stop playing the game. For two reasons. When you stop playing the game, two things are going to happen. A, Ronnie 2K is going to be looking at the computers. He's like, wait a minute. We average 1 million players a night. Why are there only 100,000? What the fuck? They're going to panic. Two, it matters people not being on the servers because in the city is full of billboards where there's ads everywhere. So even if they get your $70 for the game, the way you can stick it to them is if you're not satisfied with the product, don't play the game and don't buy VC because there's nobody's on the fucking servers. They cannot go to Reese's Puff. They cannot go to Nike, Dick's Sports, or whoever else that they use as advertisers, and they cannot afford to put them on. Like those people are not going to come to them and say, we want to buy ad space in your game anymore. You're going to fuck them over. There's so many different ways we can attack this from angles. And all it requires is for you, the consumer, to display some level of discernment. Be responsible. Stop talking about politics, TBH. This shit is politics. It's capitalism. Yes, self-control. The problem is not them. It is them to a degree, but it's mainly y'all fault. There's no fucking self-control. You got people on social media posting on Twitter that they use Klarna and Affirm Pay to buy $75 worth of VC. These people are laughing at you. So, to bring it full circle, before I get off my high horse, these people don't think that there is a problem because you are not properly communicating to them that there is a problem. Do you think this guy, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, is talking to Ronnie 2K on a regular basis? Nigga, nobody wants to talk to Ronnie 2K. Look at Community Day. You barely see anybody in videos with him. They use him to get to Community. Nobody wants to talk to him, bruh. If I talk to him, I go blow his wig off. But that's not the point. Because you know he used cheap glue. The point is, they don't know. And the only way you can stick it to them is you have to stop buying the game. I'm going to keep preaching this message till my face turns fucking blue. I could argue this is why the NBA at Big died. It wasn't making enough money. This one's making too much money, man. I love sports, so I play the games. That's the only reason why. I have no choice, unfortunately. I don't buy VC, I just grind. But you do have a choice. I need the 2K community to come out of that mindset. I have no choice. Like I said, if you want to buy the game and see if it's good this year, if there's good value, that's one thing, right? Because to be fair, I bought the game. I didn't spend no money on no goddamn VC though. Don't buy no VC. Don't be making multiple builds. And if at any point you feel like the game is not for you, get off the servers. Like because it blows my mind that they're having a cheating problem right now. Because I didn't know mad people were still on a game like that. Get the fuck off the game and go play something else. I just covered the Sony State of the Play, and I saw 17 games that I was interested in. And y'all motherfuckers can't find one that you're interested in. Some of those were ball and gun games that looked good. Please go play 007 or something. God damn, bro. We choose to boot up the PS5, PC, whatever we have. Yeah, you choose to boot that up. You do have a choice. You could just not play the basketball. I promise you, the person that said that in the YouTube chat, I get it's the only basketball game on the market, but I swear to God, if you never played NBA 2K again a day in your life, you will be fine. If you uninstall NBA 2K right now and went to bed, you know what's going to happen tomorrow? You're going to wake up. The sun's going to shine. You will be okay. But y'all don't want to have no self-control. This thing got mad sales going on, bro. During the last Steam sale, I spent $70 and got 8 games, and motherfuckers saying they ain't got nothing to play. That shit is crazy to me, man. The biggest way that people can express their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with a product is to buy or not buy. Yes. But people will do the opposite. I promise you, Twitter is not as important. Twitter is not a real place. But hey, I thought this came across my For You page and I had to save it. Cause like, I feel like people got to hear this from the horse's mouth. The CEO is telling you, we're doing great. The dev team is putting out a great product. We're up 30%. And guess what? The mom and dad who watches Kramer, first of all, if you're watching Kramer for your investments, I know your portfolio is trash, but that's not the point. The point is the people who watch mainstream cable that don't know anything about video games, but they are investors, they are going to hear, wait a minute, this video game company's up 30%. Let me go invest in that. These dumbasses keep buying VC. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm coming off my soapbox. In other news, let's talk about High Guard. Now, in the last stream 2 days ago, I covered High Guard. Their studio, Wildlight Entertainment, revealed that they laid off the majority of their staff. The game is not hitting like it needs to, and I broke down why I thought this game failed. If you haven't seen it, I think it's a pretty good rant. I personally feel like I have the best take on this game when it comes, because I feel like my take was much more balanced. You know, it's a lot of dumbass opinions and biased stuff, I think. Let's see, highlights. I talk about what they did wrong, and I talk about what I think consumers did wrong. It's this one. High Guard crashed and burned, and it was deserved. Check out that one. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, because they definitely fucked up on some stuff. But if you want to hear me go into depth about that, check out that video. That being said, I thought that was probably going to be the last time that I talked about High Guard, because they quit on the game. So I'm quitting on the game, like whatever, bro. But it's not. Unfortunately, one of the former developers that got laid off did the worst fucking thing that you can probably do on the internet. And I understand why he did it. He was frustrated. He just got laid off. He'd been working on this game for 2 years. But the worst thing you can do on the internet when the internet hates you is go to the internet and ask for understanding. We were turned into a joke from minute one. Fired high guard developer reflects on game's ill-fated launch and false assumptions after Game Awards reveal. A former... Let me see. 1 second, y'all. A former Wildlight developer has shared their thoughts on High Guard's release after its announcement at the Game Awards last year, stating due to false assumptions around its debut trailer, we were turned into a joke. High Guard closed out the Game Awards 2025 with a trailer introducing us all to a world of battling wardens and their magical mounts. The game then launched in January and quickly had a large influx of players on its release. However, there were a few complaints as well, with many disappointed with the areas such as the map size and the 3v3 format. The studio sought to address these issues with a number of content updates and patches, while also making its once limited time 5v5 mode a permanent feature. Despite this effort to regain favor though, yesterday it was announced that multiple Wildlight developers had been laid off, only a matter of weeks since High Guard made its free-to-play debut. But according to High Guard's former lead technical artist, Josh Sobel, the team was doomed from its announcement, and it was all downhill after the game's reveal at the Game Awards. Writing in a lengthy post on social media, the dev said internal feedback on High Guard prior to its reveal was quite positive, and the team felt confident it had a hit on its hands. Where feedback was negative, they said, it was constructive and often actionable. He added those who played the game, including us, had a blast. And since we were independent, self-published, and a studio built with royalties in mind, many of us were hoping this could finally be the thing that broke the millennial financial curse. But the positivity left after the Game Awards trailer. Content creators love to point out the bias in folks who give positive previews after being flown out for an event, but ignore the fact that when their negative-leaning content gets 10 times the engagement of the positive, they've just got just as much incentive to lean in toward disingenuous direction, whether conscious or not, he said. The hate started immediately. And to be fair, he's not wrong. I agree with this point. The moment content, and this is why I said you should not trust content creators any more than you trust journalists. You should look all over the place and form your own opinion. Because to be fair, content creators make more money than journalists. Them YouTube videos are making them thousands of dollars, millions of dollars every year. So this point is 100% solid. But there's more, because I don't 100% agree with this. Sobel soon locked his Twitter profile after High Guard's trailer, stating videos were then made about his cowardice, with people laughing at him for being proud of High Guard. You should be proud of your work. That is corny to me, that they're like, don't be proud of it. All this was very emotionally taxing, he said. There's much constructive criticism that could be and has been said about High Guard's trailer, marketing, and launch, but I don't think it's my place to commentate on that. I also don't think there's any way to know whether the launch would have fared better or if it was worse without the massive spotlight that was thrown onto us in response to the Game Awards trailer placement. But we never got the chance. So this is where I got to disagree. And I was talking, matter of fact, I'm gonna reiterate what I said in the previous stream. This is where I disagree. So I think High Guard fucked up was whoever was in charge of the marketing, and this wasn't his job because he was an artist. The person that was in charge of the marketing should have been fired. Because from my understanding, the CEO of Wildlight let Jeff play the game. He liked it. He saw they were an indie studio, so he offered them the main stage on the Game Awards for free. He wanted to show the little guy love because he genuinely liked the game. He made them an offer they couldn't refuse, because I looked it up. This game is developed and published by, they are 100% independent with limited money. Let me get on my Mass Effect. So here's where I think the marketing team fucked up. The moment that they agreed to be on the Game Awards, the marketing team said we need to pivot, because the CEO confirmed that this was supposed to be shadow dropped. I think if they would have shadow dropped this game, it would have been much more better received because there would have been no expectations. The moment you put it on the biggest stage in the world for gaming and you put it at the end, there were expectations. The marketing should have pivoted to one or two things. They could have did one or two things. The first thing they could have did was they could have announced it at the Game Awards, and at the end of that trailer, they said, hey, by the way, you can play it now. We are dropping the beta. We would love your feedback. There would have been no expectations. People would have tried it out. They would have understood it was a beta. They would have gave proper feedback, and things could have went smoothly from there. Now, they didn't do that. The other option they could have did is they allowed people to form opinions about this game, and they didn't fight back. They announced the game and then went radio silent and shadow dropped it. You cannot shadow drop something we know is coming. And in between the announcement and the game dropping, they allowed the internet to make shit up about the game. People who do have disingenuous agendas, and they should have told them to shut the fuck up. You let people take post fake screenshots saying they played the game and lie about it. It had 5 million views. Why did you allow that? They could have dropped, there's 8 characters at launch. They could have dropped 2 trailers, because it's 4 weeks in a month. So a month between the launch and the announcement, they could have did 2 trailers per week, revealing characters, showing abilities, showing the world, breaking down the gameplay. But instead they went radio silent and they allowed a false narrative to run rampant, and it created a virus. It's the same thing that happened to G4. I said this the other day. At G4, we had 30,000 concurrent viewers the launch day of our stream. Then these dumbass suits said, let's shut it down for a month so we can play in what? No, let's go. The streets is hot. So in my opinion, and this is why I said I think I got the best opinion when it comes to this game, because I don't think this is the worst game ever. I think the truth is in the middle when it comes to this story. He's not wrong. These content creators have incentive ever since Elon Musk made it to where you can get paid to tweet. Then you also get paid on YouTube, and these algorithms on every social media platform promotes negativity. That's why you got so many gaming is dead dumbass videos, bruh. That being said, you couldn't control that. And me personally, the way I was raised is, you should never focus on what you cannot control. Instead, focus on what you can. And what you didn't control is the messaging. As much as I did like this game, this had some of the worst messaging I've ever seen. You allowed the internet to dogpile on you, and it gets to a certain point where you gotta smack people the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about, but you let it happen. And now they're fighting an uphill battle. So I say all that to say this, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm bragging on it. I'm trying to be 100% fair about this conversation. I think the truth is generally in the middle about High Guard. Some of the things that he's saying is true, but some of this I do not agree with. You guys did have some level of control over your outcome. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I believe you guys were the joke of the internet after it was announced. I think people were just skeptical. And you got to understand, when you're putting out a product, it's up to you to convince the consumer not to be skeptical towards your product. And the way you do that is through proper marketing. You didn't do that. Instead, you allowed that skepticism to manifest into negativity. Because for the most part, I do feel like it was more skepticism. Like, what is this game? Even me, I was like, the heroes look generic, but it's free to play. I'll try it when I learn more about the game. You allowed that skepticism to manifest into something else. And that's where I think you guys fucked up. Because once you get the internet going, the unfortunate thing about it is they ain't going to stop. And that's why I don't think he should have tweeted this out, because I get it. You were upset. You got fired. So, emotions are running high after working for like 2 years. I get the human element of it, but I feel like him posting this tweet is only going to ramp up the hatred for the game even more for the people that are still working at Wildlight. And now they were already pushing a boulder uphill. Now they're pushing a bigger boulder. The gaming industry is in shambles. It is, man. It's a lot of weird shit from all different types of angles. Shout out to Breezy though. Shout out to Timbo. Shout out to Locke. So if you haven't seen that video, I basically just repeated it. I'll just repeat myself. There we go, bro. I got to get in the habit of doing that stuff. People are sheepish. A lot of early hate was bandwagoning, in my opinion. I think it was more skepticism at the beginning, and it turned into hate. And what I will say, and this is why I said this conversation is so nuanced, it turned into hatred. And then on top of that, I don't care what nobody say. At what point are we also going to start calling out frauds? Because somebody said somebody with millions of followers who could arguably turn, because friendly reminder, guys, and don't tell me this is not possible. I played Splitgate when it first came out. That game was dead for 2 years. Matter of fact, I remember when I first started promoting that game, people were like, stop talking about this shit. Some big white YouTuber or Twitch streamer played it. Everybody was on that game's dick because for some reason, y'all only listen to white content creators. Cool, whatever. I'm all about long as the studio wins, cool. Everybody started playing. You can turn it around with the one content creator. Freaking, there was a big content creator who said he liked the game, and then he said, but I don't want to play it because my 14-year-old audience makes fun of me. That's why I said this conversation is nuanced. I feel like if that person would have stood up and said, fuck y'all, I like this game, I'm going to play it until the wheels roll off. Because my thing is like, your job is to be an influencer. It's a blessing to do this shit, guys. I recognize that. That's why I always do my best to try to say, sometimes I miss it because the chat's moving too fast, but I always do my best to try to say thank you to everybody who subs, donates, follows, whatever, bro. Because I can recognize it's people out there breaking their back, working on roofs, doctors, dealing with all different types of diseases, lawyers, stress. People are working mad stress. I get to sit on my ass and talk about and play fucking video games. My job is to be an influencer. And my thing is, these people don't stand for nothing that's going on in real life. You don't hear these people talk about no real life shit. I'm just a cute little girl. I don't know anything about ice. How hard is it to say fuck ice? That shit is fucked up. It's not that hard to say. They don't stand for nothing in the real world. But then when a video game comes along and you like it and it's getting dogpiled on, all you can say is, I like the game, I'm gonna play it. You don't gotta ride or die for the shit. Just be honest about your opinion when it comes to a video game. And a grown man stood on fucking camera and said, oh, but my 14-year-old audience is making fun of me. Where's that energy for that nigga, bro? Yeah, let's talk about it. The same way y'all dogpile on these fucking content creators, that shit pussy. Yeah, I said it. That shit pussy. Corny. I'm off the gamer subs. So that's why I said this conversation is very nuanced. It's from a lot of different angles and shit like that. That shit is corny. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't think this is the worst game ever. Like I said, it's like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I swear to God, I'm not trying to do 6, 7. I think with a few patches, it could have been fixed. But ultimately, I think the internet wanted to hate it. But I also believe the internet wanted to hate it because they didn't control the messaging. And that's where they fucked up. Double scoot. You said I'm a Splitgate fan. I'm suddenly tuned back in. Oh, yeah, I was playing Splitgate early before it blew up, and then Halo killed it. And then it came back because some content creators played that shit. And I'm like, that shit is cool. That's the power of being a content creator. I think some people, deadass, before I move off this conversation, this is why I said it's such a blessing to be an influence. Some of you guys are not old enough to remember, but Minecraft was a nobody. When that shit first came out, Minecraft blew up because content creators like, I remember early days, like I think Captain Sparkles and like some other big content creators on YouTube. Minecraft blew up because of YouTubers. And that's because they chose to use their platform to influence you and share with the world something that they liked. And people became billionaires off of that shit. And meanwhile, you got this 35-plus-year-old man said, I'm not going to play this game because they're making fun of me because I like it. So you're not getting stabbed. You're not getting shot. We're talking about video games, man. And it's this is why yesterday usually I take Thursdays off. This is why I take days off of streaming for my fucking mental health. Because sometimes I feel like, am I crazy? Can we be for real about shit? Can we be for real? Now, if you played the game and you ain't like it, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, damn, motherfuckers can't even stand on the shit they like over a goddamn video game. That shit corny as hell. Whatever. Like what you like, nobody gonna give a fuck. Type of shit, bruh. That shit really is wild. Shit is fucking wild, bruh. But anyways, unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. Hopefully the devs, stand on their feet, get back on their feet and, get another job. But I do think, before I move on, I do think he shouldn't have tweeted this. It's going to make it worse. Because like I said, once the internet decides that they hate you, they're going to keep doing that shit. That's why when that G4 shit was going on and it was collapsing, if you notice, I had some big drama channels like tweeting me. They were making videos about me. I didn't respond to none of that shit. Do you know why? Because I knew I couldn't win it. It's funny. So the moral of the story before we move on is when it comes to High Guard, when it was time for them to speak, they didn't. But when it's time for you not to speak, you do. I got to start this consulting company. You got to pay attention, man. Yeah, responding, I would have lost. You got to understand when people hate you, there's no convincing you can do. Look at the MAGA niggas, bro. They are fucking morons. There's nothing. This motherfucker's name is mentioned 1 million times in the Epstein files. Some of it's sexual assault against a fucking child. They talking about eating babies in this paperwork. I don't believe it. What do you mean you don't believe it? For the last 10 years, you've been screaming there's a cabal, Illuminati, secret shadow government, and now you're mad because it's not just Bill Clinton. First of all, fuck him too. Fuck all of them. I'm off the gamer subs today. Fuck all of them. You just wanted it to be Bill Clinton. Now it's because it's your hero. No, that nigga's part of the swamp too. Fuck them all. Shit's getting weird. I'm getting sick of this shit, man. Nobody cares about nothing, so I don't either. How about that? Yeah, no. TBH was never suicidal. Shit just is infuriating. They used to eat not far from the people. Shit is weird. Fuck them all, man. Fuck them all. And fuck Bill Clinton too. Next story. More High Guard. Jeff Keighley isn't to blame for High Guard struggles, says Boulder Gates 3 boss. Damn, they got other big studios chiming in. So what did he say? However, at least one prominent figure in the industry doesn't believe Jeff Keighley should shoulder the blame for any of these issues. Yeah, because a lot of people are blaming Jeff Keighley. And you got to remember, I'm not going to totally put the blame on Jeff Keighley. It takes two to tango. Jeff Keighley made them an offer and they had to accept it. The High Guard layoffs, like many others, are a sad reminder of the economic instability of an industry that asks the world, but promises little, wrote BG3's director of publishing, Michael Dowse, on Twitter. That said, blaming one man for showing a trailer on his telly show is a sophomoric take that shows little understanding of the industry. Agreed. It's basically what I've been saying on this stream. Not everything is black and white. Sometimes things are black and white. But this is one of those situations with High Guard where it actually is a very nuanced conversation. And like everybody is just like, I think a lot of it has to do with the rise of anti-intellectualism, critical thinking at an all-time low. People just want to give these stupid ass takes and get retweets and shit, bruh. Jeff didn't tell people to write fake Steam reviews. Ding, ding, ding. Right. Jeff Keighley didn't tell people to write fake Steam reviews. Like, that's not fair to Jeff. What's up, fat butt? You trying to show the code off? So I kind of agree with what he's saying. It's just an unfortunate situation. It doesn't mean the jokes aren't funny though. I guess you say that until you start your own business. You say that till you start your own business, and then, people start cracking fake jokes on you. Then it won't be funny when you're trying to feed your family. Because friendly reminder, these are people. These are people. The only time I let like just all out slander fly, NBA 2K, they can get it. Fuck Ronnie. Take-Two Interactive as a whole, Activision, Ubisoft, like they deserve it. They 100% deserve it. But I'm like, in my head, because here's one more layer to the story. In my head, I'm like, yo, we're talking about an indie studio, like the little guy. I thought we liked mom and pop shops. Like, what are we talking about here? It's a mom and pop shop that stumbled out the gate. We don't want to see them succeed. Mom and pop shops are the backbone of the economy. When the mom and pop shops disappear, so does the culture. Because then everything becomes super corporate. Everything becomes Walmart, Target. And the Walmart Target version of gaming would be Ubisoft, Activision, EA. Y'all not ready for that conversation. That's why I was always trying to give good feedback, like fair feedback. Steam reviews, and some good news though, because one conversation I've seen a lot of people have been having, we had it on the podcast. I seen an article published, I think it was on Polygon or Kotaku. People have been talking about Steam reviews and the role they play, and they need to be updated because you can just review bomb shit without even playing the game. This is not going to 100% fix it, but I think this is a move in the right direction. Steam reviews set to show a player's specs, so it's easier to know if you'll share the experience or if they misread the minimum. I think so. Basically, now in the latest beta, and I think it's going to roll out to everybody later. I read this one already. Steam is going to you can show the specs of the person reviewing. So then you'll know if the game is, because like you'll know some people will be like, oh, 1 star, the game is unoptimized, and now you'll be able to see the specs. Like, bro, you have a RTX fucking 950 from fucking 2008. This shit is not unoptimized. You have a garbage ass computer, and I suspect you're gonna find a lot of that, because if you look at the average PC specs on Steam, most people still are barely doing 1080p. That's the reason why, for those unaware, why Valve went with the specs that they went for in the Steam machine. They did a survey to find what are the average PC specs, and people are still mostly playing in 1080p. So they made something that's a mid-tier PC. So don't be surprised when you start looking at Steam reviews and you start seeing some fraudulent ass PCs talking about a game is unoptimized, bro. I'm gonna be honest. If you don't have a 3060 or up, I don't give a fuck what you got to say about optimization. The 3060 is the average. Unless it's a game that's not graphically intensive. What I'm saying pertains more to like modern games that are pushing graphics. If it's like a League of Legends type of game, you can get away with worse hardware. But like modern games that are pushing graphics, if you don't got at least a 3060 or higher, we don't care. Like, so I think this is a good step in the right direction. I think they need to do more with the Steam system, review system, but it's getting there. It's getting there. That's why I don't say nothing about graphics with my 2070. Hey, it said the bare minimum you need for Crimson Desert is a 2080. So with a 2070, I think you'll be fine. Oh, the new gameplay trailer for Battlefield dropped. Let me see if I can go to YouTube and find it. Battlefield 6 Season 2 gameplay. All right, here we go. So gameplay trailer for Season 2 dropped. Let's see what it's about. Shout out to everybody following on YouTube. Hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Do I have a political channel I would follow? Nah, I don't want to make a political channel just because those people, the political sphere is weird. Like sometimes I'll rant about what I think about what's going on in the world, like here, but like a channel dedicated to politics, first of all, that would take too much time. I already got too many channels. My goal for 2026 is to be consistent with live streaming, consistently uploading to Hokage highlights, and consistent with the GI podcast. That's it. Anything else would be a bonus. So for anybody who likes my video essays, my documentaries on the main channel that I barely upload to, you'll get one when you get one. Same thing what I'm just saying, but like right now, my goal is just to be consistent with those 3 things. I'm not stressing myself out anymore. So for me to make a political channel, that would stress me out. But also the main reason I wouldn't do a political channel is them motherfuckers are weird, bro. Motherfuckers gonna start doxing you, figuring out where you live, and then like, I'm letting y'all niggas know, bro. I'm not regular, but I've had people threaten me, bro. Come on over to my house and see what I got for you. A lot of people gonna get.
Identity, move.
Yo, shout out to Tart Work with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. I'm curious. Do you think a lot of the hate that goes towards games are actual people or bots? What do you think about the dead internet theory? See, that's another element, and that's why I said this. That's a great point. Shout out to you for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. That is another reason why not even gaming, discourse as a whole. I don't know if you guys know, but at least in the United States, this country it's been manipulated. It has been manipulated. The dead internet theory is real. They said 50% of the internet is bots and like 70% of Twitter are bots. So like that's another thing too, right? And the thing is, you got to understand, most people don't read anything outside of hot headlines. They don't know that the internet is full of fucking bots. So what you have is a bunch of bots dogpiling on a game like High Guard. It's not getting any proper feedback. And then you got people who are genuinely curious, and the first thing they see when they go to a tweet is just mad negativity. That's why anytime I tweet something, the moment it starts going viral, I mute it because bots start coming in. I could say something as simple as, I love NBA Street Volume 2. Shut up, N-word. Shut up, monkey. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Or they'll say something that has nothing to do with what I even said. You can always tell it's a bot. And JG is in the middle of it, arguing with them all. We've been trying to get JG to reel it back and stop arguing with the Bangladesh bots, but we're not quite there yet. So no, that is a great point. That is another problem. Like, and the thing you have to understand is that's denying you something that you might like. Because like I said, everybody's getting manipulated. JG's fighting for humanity. JG love quote tweeting bots. Oh shit. New maps. Will there be a new way to run around and shoot niggas? You think ball and gun gamers care? I ain't gonna hold you. The Battlefield stream is probably coming back. We probably about to be back on this red sec next week. When this shit come out? New weapons. Excuse me. I think it says the 17th. Will your PC survive? I hope so. I'm hoping the new patch got optimizations. We're gonna try it. I'm not gonna lie, I might test the game. I might download the patch and test it off stream like for like 10 minutes just to make sure it run, because the last patch fucked my shit up. That's fire. We're gonna play it off stream. Season 2. Okay, the 17th, so you're right. When is that? That is next Tuesday. Yeah. We're gonna try it out. Them Battlefield numbers is low. Yeah, hopefully they can get it together with this shit, with this update. Shout out to Blaze Light Zero with the super chat. He said, fuck them clankers. I feel that. JG might need to change his name to John Connor, the way he be fighting them bots on Twitter. That's fucking funny, bro. I look forward to this, Jen. I look forward to this. If Claire Expedition, some of y'all feel like it's getting glazed too much, that I already speak about State of the Play literally for like almost the last 3 hours. If you're tired of the glaze for Expedition 33, I hate to break it to you, but there's more glaze going on. Now Claire Expedition's soundtrack is breaking records, reaching #1 in multiple album charts and placing above the likes of Bad Bunny. Holy shit. And this is the perfect time for me to, hold on. This is the perfect time for me to show off. Look what I got. Look who helped make it go #1, nigga. Oh! I got the Expedition 33 vinyl. I think it's got, it's 6 vinyls in here. Yeah, I'm valid, ain't it? Hey, the art, I gotta put this on the wall. This shit is gorgeous. So I'm gonna be honest, with this album, video game music going #1, I see you broke ass bitches in 5 years, because I don't say I guarantee you, but I'm feeling pretty confident in this investment. This one's probably gonna be worth money. Did you say 6 vinyls? Yeah, because it's like 100 tracks on the game. There's a version, there's 2 versions they release. There's a curated version of like the best hits from Expedition 33, and then there's the full soundtrack. I bought the full soundtrack. Do I have a record player? Yeah. I don't buy music just to look at it. Like 140 something. Yeah. Shout out to the investment. So shout out to Claire going #1. Tight shit. And then last but not least, if you're watching on Hokage highlights, ignore this. But if you're watching right now on the live stream, play free on Steam this weekend. Step into the ring now. Virtual Fighter 5 Revo World Stage is free to play all weekend on Steam. Keep the fight going and save up to 50% off. So you can try the game out this weekend for free from the 13th to the 16th. And it's 50% off if you're interested in the game for those who say they have nothing to play. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.